Who told you that you were naked? Listen, God said to Adam and Eve in the creation story, for those of you that believe that story, but even if you don't believe that story, the phrase was, who told you that you were naked? Right? Adam said, I hid because I was naked. And God said, who told you that you were naked? And in essence, in spirit, what he was saying was, who told you that there was something wrong with you being naked? I made you that way. I put you here like that, right? So who told you that there was something wrong with that? It's so interesting that in our lives, there's so much external power, so much external messaging that is basically telling us that there's something wrong with us, that there's something not aligned with the nature in which we were created, or that there's something's wrong. And the truth is, it's not the truth. It's not necessarily the truth. This doesn't mean that we shouldn't self-evaluate and recognize areas where we've gotten off of our natural sense of self, our natural path, our authentic self. Because we definitely need to do that work. But there's so many messages coming into us that's telling us that we are not enough, that we are naked, or that there's something wrong with us being as we are, right? When the truth is, we belong even though we don't fit in some of these systems that are set up. And we have these standardized measurements of what success is and what being the best you is, and what all of these things, man, all of these measurements that causes us to have to try to measure up instead of just really being who and what we are. I'm getting to a place now where I'm no longer even wanting to use the word best self. I just really want to be my authentic self, whatever that means, the full depth of whatever that means, not necessarily just saying be the best self, because I think being my authentic self honestly is enough. But again, that's all going to be based off of what system are we basing it on? What is informing our enough? What is informing our appearance? What is informing our obsession with succeeding? And is it really the true depth of our authentic power within? Or is it coming from external powers? Is it the external powers that's forcing us? Or is it the internal authentic power that's driving us to live and do our lives the way we do, as we would do? Yes, evaluate your life, evaluate what's going on, evaluate what really truly feels authentic for you. But a lot of us are really trying to answer this question of being enough in a world that honestly, the way it's set up, we would never be enough for. We would never be enough for it. We would never even be enough for desires that never really truly have a cap. So if we live our life just based off of our desires and other people's desires, it could go on and on and on and on and on forever. There has to be a place where we say, no, I'm enough as I am. Now, I can do more if I want to, if I really feel the leading to, or the inspired act from my being. There's inspired action to do more, be more, or whatever you want to put it. But the truth is, I was created as I am, as enough. Although I'm still maturing into my being, although I'm still growing into my being, although I'm still navigating my own sense of being, there is enoughness already in me. And I think I need to figure out how to tap into that instead of measuring it by systems that never really truly get satisfied. Sometimes our desires can be insatiable. Sometimes the desires of the world can be insatiable. You put out a great album and somebody, your next one got to be better than your first one. We're constantly grabbing for that. And again, I'm not saying don't advance, don't evolve, or don't do evaluation and do things excellently. But I think the greatest excellence is in recognizing that you as you are, when you're in your most authentic self, it is the enough that we need to really embrace. It's the enough that we really need to hold dear to our hearts and know on an intimate level. So I'm going to ask you this question. Who told you that you were naked? Who told you that there was something wrong with you being naked? With you being you, authentically you, as you were designed, as you were created, as you are? Who told you that you were naked?